Welcome to your daily reading. Nine of Cups in reverse. So there's someone in this energy who's personally unsatisfied. There's something in their life or something going on around their life that is causing them to feel that whatever's going on in their life isn't satisfying them. They're not feeling like everything is good. They could be having a hard time resting or having a hard time focusing or just having a hard time enjoying anything. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. No, that's the King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles in reverse. This lack of personal satisfaction could be affecting their finances. Or this could be someone feeling personally unsatisfied because of their financial issues they have. They could have a problem making money or saving money, or they could have a problem with spending money, or, nothing could ever feel like it's ever enough for them. They could have everything they need, but it just never feels enough, which makes sense with that Nine of Cups in reverse, because that's very similar feeling as nothing's ever enough and then nothing's ever satisfying. So there seems to be this in relation to finances, or it's like it affects the other ones. So if someone's so unsatisfied with everything that happens in their life, their financial standing will suffer and they won't be satisfied by it, even if it's good. Someone could need their finances to be like, they could be dependent upon their financial stability for their selves to feel good about themselves or satisfied about themselves. Like, it bothers them that it's not where they want it to be. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. This person could be feeling like really bad about themselves. They've been feeling really unfortunate, and they could be feeling like the world's against them. Luck isn't on their side. Nothing's going in their favor. They could be feeling like they do this and they do that and it doesn't work out. I heard general malaise, and then it's like it just could be someone just has this pessimistic attitude about things. The Two of Wands in reverse. This person could be feeling like they can't do anything about it. They could be feeling like they feel so unsatisfied because of their financial situation or because of their finances. Or they could just be unsatisfied with their finances and their relationship to it. And how they feel that they can't make luck go in their favor. They can't make things happen for themselves, or nothing happens for them. And then that attitude or that perception of themselves and their situation makes them feel as if they can't do anything about the situation, or they straight up can't do anything about it. It's like they can't take the next step forward while maintaining their standing currently, because where they're standing, they don't want to stand. Also, they may not have a good plan about how to proceed with changing themselves or changing their situation or changing their attitude about it. Six of Cups. There's something about childhood or early life where someone was perhaps given some sort of, like, somebody gave them something, they cared about them, they nurtured them, they guided them, they helped them out, they shared with them what was shared with themselves. So this could be someone has that within. where they got nurtured or they were cared for in that emotional way when they were younger, and that's become instilled within them. That could be that, or this could be another energy separate from them. Ace of Wands. This could be how somebody feels, right? So this whole thing here, somebody feels this way, somebody's experiencing financial instability, or somebody's feeling unsatisfied with their finances. They don't feel that they can turn the favor into their favor. The wheel is in their mind, not in their favor, and they don't feel they can, make any changes or do anything about it. But there's that instilled feeling of courage or connection or support where they received when they were younger, which kind of lights the fire of the Ace of Wands, which it's like they're going inside of themselves and they're using that Six of Cups to ignite an Ace of Wands, meaning like a new action, like they have their, like they know what to do now, or they're going to try to do something, or they're going to take an action towards something. Comes from that instilled internal strength or stability. Because all this stuff is kind of more surface stuff. It's less about internal, it's more about like they're feeling a certain way about their external environment, and their finances are about their material wealth or stability, which makes them feel a certain way about that, and then they feel it like they don't have any choices or anything like that about it, which is all external. And if they go inside of themselves and they sort of sit with that thing that tells them they can do it, they can survive, they can make it work, they could feel encouraged by that, and then know how to take a step forward or feel courage to take a step forward in some way. Eight of Swords in reverse? Yeah. Okay. So then that takes them out of the mental entrapment. It's like they just had to go inside themselves and just kind of reestablish a connection with their internal self, because all the external things that aren't working out the way they want, or how they feel about themselves based on external stuff, it doesn't have to override the internal flame, per se, which then inspires them to do something, or they feel, yeah, I actually can do something about this. Yeah, I actually have control of the situation. Because all that is temporary. This is beyond that. So then that feeling of, if the person felt entrapped or confused or bound in some way to other people's perceptions or their own perception, because this could be like, the swords could be how they were thinking about themselves isn't good, or they were judging themselves based on how they feel or think that they should be, or how things aren't working in their favor financially in this moment, or the external world's not working for them in this moment. So then they start feeling that, like, it almost feels like that, oh, it's a permanent thing, or they're assigning it like to themselves, like, I am this and I am that. It's not, oh, this is this way now currently, but maybe in 2 years, 10 years it won't be, but right now it is. And it could feel that, ooh, that's me, I'm this way. But that going inside and sort of reconnecting with that center to become inspired and driven to do something, reveals that, no, this is only temporary. No, this isn't who I am. This is just how I thought or think about it. And I don't have to think about it this way. I can change my thoughts about the situation. I can think the way that I want to think. I don't have to think based on how society or other people or my negative self-perception, if I have one, tells me to think. I don't have to evaluate my self-worth based on external circumstances if I don't want to. And then that opens their eyes to what they actually have control over, and their own perceptions of themselves and other people's has less power to trap them in a cycle of powerlessness or feeling unsatisfied or feeling discontent, because there could be a financial issue, or this person could not be very good with money sometimes, but they don't have to feel unsatisfied by that. They could sort of accept that this is part of life. If the money isn't right now, it could be in the future, but it needs to be worked on. And having a feeling of dissatisfaction and a feeling of unluckiness or unworthiness over that kind of makes it hard to change it. And there's the Knight of Cups in reverse. I feel like this is making somebody think, okay, well, if I'm going to focus on this, I should sort of pull back socially. This could kind of make somebody take themselves more seriously and take their own life more seriously and be less frivolous, and less needing to be having a bunch of connections, emotional connections that sort of just are fun. And it's like somebody's sort of saying that they're going to pull back from sort of socializing in a way, that they'll pull back from being flirty and fun, and they're just kind of focus on the building of themselves, or the building of their finances, or the building of their self-esteem. Like they don't maybe want to be frivolous or connect to people without there being an intention behind it. Like they're thinking about everyone they connect to, or every connection they have. They have to think about it, thinking like, is this going to be good for me, or is this not going to be good for me? Is me sort of being open and enjoying all that gonna be good for my financial future, or for my self-esteem in the end of it? And then the World is in the upright on the bottom of the deck. It's like this person is having to reevaluate where they put their energy, because the outcome maybe of their being in Knight of Cups got them sort of King in reverse, or King of Pentacles in reverse. They could have been focusing more on the enjoying relationships, or enjoying flirting or flinging, or they could have been sort of putting more stock in like the sensation of connecting to people, and that so sort of sometimes be fleeting if it's not building like a connection where the person could strengthen that in the future, where if their goal is to build themselves financially, this person be some sort of connection that they could partner with in the future. If that isn't going to be the intention, they may sort of decide that it's not really worth that effort, and they may just decide not to do that. And then that puts some of the World in the upright. Like once they sort of figure out what they feel is causing them to be undisciplined, or causing them to sort of lose focus on their finances, or especially even if they're talking to a lot of people and they sort of are seeing a lot of people with their money and their perception of their money be good, and they see themselves and they think, oh, my money is not as good as those people. They don't necessarily know that, but it puts them in a position where they're like, so I'm going to make this work for me then, and be more disciplined about it.